In Bridgetown, life doesn't rush. It moves to rhythm, memory, and purpose. Alison Hinds has built her life right here, far from pop industry noise, yet deeply embedded in Caribbean power. Known worldwide as the Queen of Soca, her influence isn't measured by headlines, but by generations who move when her music plays. To understand the woman behind that influence, we have to begin where it all started, her journey into music and the career that reshaped Caribbean culture. Long before Alison Hinds became a cultural symbol, her story began far from the Caribbean spotlight. She was born on June 1, 1970, in London, England, and raised in Plaistow, an East London neighborhood shaped by working-class immigrant life. Both of her parents were Barbadian. Her father worked long shifts at Ford's Dagenham plant, while her mother held the household together. Music existed, but stability came first. At the age of 11, everything shifted. Her parents divorced, and Alison moved with her mother to Barbados. The transition was not glamorous. It was cultural shock, emotional adjustment, and learning how to belong again. But Barbados gave her something London could not: space to grow into her voice. Her first public recognition came in 1985, when she entered the Richard Stout Teen Talent Competition and placed third. It wasn't a win, but it was confirmation. People noticed. More importantly, she believed she belonged on stage. That belief became reality in 1987 when she joined Square One, one of the most influential soca bands in the Caribbean. At a time when soca was overwhelmingly male-led, Alison Hinds became the band's lead female voice. Over the next 17 years, she recorded multiple albums, toured relentlessly, and helped redefine what leadership looked like in Caribbean music. The accolades followed. In 1992, she won the Barbados Songwriting Contest with the duet "Hold You in a Song." She captured Road March titles in 1996 and 1997, and won Party Monarch in 1997, cementing her dominance during soca's most competitive era. But success came at a cost. Touring was constant. The pace was unforgiving. By 2004, at the height of her popularity, Alison made a decision that stunned the industry. She left Square One to care for her newborn daughter. It was not framed as a sacrifice. She framed it as priority. Motherhood came first, even if it meant stepping away from the crown. A year later, she returned on her own terms. In 2005, she formed the Alison Hinds Show, surrounding herself with younger musicians and dancers, mentoring the next generation while reclaiming creative control. Her full return came with Roll It Gal. Released after her feature on Kevin Little's Turn Me On remix, the song exploded across the Caribbean. Its message, female independence, confidence, and ownership, resonated instantly. Roll It Gal wasn't just a hit, it became cultural shorthand. Her debut solo album, Soca Queen, 2007, formalized what audiences already knew. Alison Hinds was no longer just a lead singer, she was a movement. Her 2010 album Caribbean Queen expanded her reach, featuring collaborations with Shaggy, Richie Spice, Ja Cure, and others. International tours followed, with performances at Reggae Sumfest, the West Indian American Day Carnival in Brooklyn, and festivals across Europe and North America. Recognition moved beyond music. In 2018, Alison Hinds was appointed Cultural Ambassador of Barbados, a role acknowledging her influence as a cultural force, not just an entertainer. In 2023, she received an honorary Doctor of Literature from the University of the West Indies, an academic recognition of a legacy built through sound, identity, and resilience. After decades on global stages, Alison Hinds chose something rare: to root herself fully at home. And to understand who she is today, we now step into the place where her power lives quietly. House in Bridgetown, Barbados. Alison resides here with her husband, Edward Walcott Jr., and their daughter on a privately owned horse ranch spanning approximately 10.6 acres. The land is expansive, green, and carefully maintained, not manicured for display, but structured for purpose. Edward manages the ranch, grounding the household in daily routine rather than celebrity rhythm. From the moment you arrive, it's clear this is a working property, not a weekend escape. The two-story home at its center feels intentional and calm. With 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, the house offers space without excess. Fully furnished and thoughtfully renovated, it balances comfort and durability, rooms designed to be used, not preserved. There is a sense of permanence here, the kind that comes from choosing function over trends. Outside, the property reveals its true identity. Fenced pastures stretch across the land, ready for horses. 7 interconnected stables sit just steps from the main house, complete with storage rooms, wide hallways, and large exterior barn doors that open directly onto the equestrian areas. Everything is laid out for ease, movement without interruption, care without complication. A community riding trail circles the neighborhood, allowing for private horseback riding in peaceful, uninterrupted surroundings. It's a rare luxury. Privacy without isolation. Inside the home, double doors open into a large, light-filled living room with soaring ceilings. Natural light pours in, framing panoramic views of the pastures beyond. There are no city skylines here, no ocean cliffs meant to impress. The space feels less like a showpiece and more like a place to breathe between tours, between obligations, between performances. This is not the lifestyle many expect from an international performer. There are no visible status symbols, no excess meant to signal success. Instead, Alison's Bridgetown life reflects something more durable: control over environment, time, and energy. The ranch supports balance, family life, physical grounding, and creative renewal, without pulling attention away from what matters most. But even a life this grounded is supported by decades of work, touring, and cultural authority. Which leads to the next question: how does Alison Hinds sustain this lifestyle financially without ever trading authenticity for profit? Income and net worth. After more than 3 decades in music, first as the unmistakable lead voice of Square One from 1987 to 2004, then as a solo artist from 2005 onward, her financial story resists neat accounting. Verified figures are scarce, and that absence is telling. Industry observers often place her net worth somewhere in the low to mid-millions, frequently estimated between $1 to $3 million, though these numbers remain speculative. A steady base comes from music sales and streaming royalties. Albums like Soca Queen, 2007, and Caribbean Queen, 2010, along with enduring singles such as Roll It Gal, continue to generate income across radio, compilations, and digital platforms. The catalog is evergreen, played at carnivals, weddings, and community events, keeping royalties alive long after release cycles end. The real engine, however, is live performance. In Soca, the stage pays. Alison Hinds has headlined major Caribbean festivals: Barbados Crop Over, Trinidad Carnival, alongside international events like Brooklyn's West Indian American Day Carnival and appearances at festivals including Reggae Sumfest. Touring across the US, Canada, Europe, and the Caribbean has remained a dependable source of revenue year after year. Her band, the Alison Hinds Show, formed in 2005, adds another layer of control. As lead artist and creative anchor, she sets the terms: performance fees, touring schedules, and presentation, protecting both income and longevity. Collaborations with artists such as Shaggy and Kevin Little broadened her reach without diluting her sound, while guest appearances and features added incremental earnings and visibility. Other income streams exist on the margins: select advertising, public appearances, and her appointment as Cultural Ambassador of Barbados in 2018, an honor that carries prestige more than profit. And that's the point. Alison Hinds' power doesn't depend on numbers. It depends on trust. audiences who show up, cultures that claim her, and a career built to last. With that influence comes responsibility, and the next chapter asks how she has used it. Philanthropy. For Alison Hinds, philanthropy has never been a marketing exercise. It is an extension of culture, something practiced when needed, not promoted when convenient. One of the clearest examples came in 2010, following the devastating earthquake in Haiti. Alison Hinds participated in Rise Again, a charity single created for Digicel's Haiti Relief Fund. The project brought together a cross-section of Caribbean voices, artists such as Shaggy, Sean Paul, Sean Kingston, Itana, Tessanne Chin, and Destra Garcia, uniting not for chart placement but for urgency. Proceeds from the song supported emergency aid, including food, clean water, and medical supplies distributed through NGOs working on the ground in Haiti. It was a moment when Caribbean music moved beyond celebration and into service. Her support has also appeared closer to home. In 2017, Hinds lent her voice and presence to a fundraising effort for Daniel Best, a child in need of urgent medical care. The appeal was simple: come, support, and help a family facing a moment they couldn't handle alone. There was no long campaign, just action. Natural disasters across the region have repeatedly drawn her involvement. After major hurricanes, including a 2016 relief concert in the Bahamas, Alison participated in events designed to raise funds and awareness for recovery efforts. In Barbados, she has used her platform during hurricane seasons, such as Hurricane Kirk in 2018, to encourage safety, preparedness, and community care, reinforcing the idea that resilience is collective. She has also supported health-focused organizations at home, including the Barbados Cancer Society, which works in prevention, early detection, and patient counseling, and the Heart and Stroke Foundation, which provides education and assistance to those affected by cardiovascular disease. These causes align with a broader concern for long-term well-being rather than short-term visibility. That sense of duty doesn't stop at public causes. It continues in the most private space of all, her family life, where balance matters more than applause. Personal life. Away from the stage, Alison Hinds has built a life that resists the constant pull of attention. She is married to Edward Walcott Jr., and by most accounts, their partnership spans 2 decades. Reports from around 2017 note they had already been married for roughly 12 years at that point, placing their union in the early 2000s, long before her solo success reached its peak. It's a marriage grounded not in celebrity optics but in shared responsibility. Together, they have a daughter, Saharan, sometimes spelled Sahara, born on May 5, 2004. Motherhood marked a defining shift. In 2004, at the height of her visibility with Square One, Alison stepped back to focus on raising her child. That decision still defines her priorities. Family came first then, and it still does now. Today, life is divided carefully between home and work. Alison continues to tour and perform with the Alison Hinds Show, the band she formed in 2005, while maintaining her role as a cultural figure in Barbados. At home, she balances that schedule with family life on their private farm, an environment chosen for privacy, routine, and grounding rather than access or prestige. It's a setting that allows her to reset between tours, to be present as a wife and mother before returning to the demands of performance. That insistence on boundaries surfaced publicly in November 2025 during a dispute surrounding Cayman Fiesta in the Cayman Islands. Although Alison arrived prepared to perform, she ultimately did not take the stage. Shortly after, she released an Instagram video explaining her decision. According to her statement, the event organizer had failed to meet critical contractual obligations, specifically business terms that, in her standard agreements, must be resolved before any performance occurs. For her, it was not a dramatic exit. It was a professional line drawn. In a genre built on celebration, Alison Hinds has consistently chosen balance. family over frenzy, integrity over impulse, and a personal life protected, not hidden, but respected, because some things matter more than the noise of a crowd. Thank you for spending this time with us, exploring her life beyond the stage, beyond the spotlight. If this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Who represents cultural power in your world? Until next time, stay curious and keep the rhythm alive.